Okay. Now the next topic under this revision is a new topic, that is the industrial fermenter. Fermentation you have studied. Fermentation you understand. Fermentation means giving out. You have studied fermentation in alcoholic fermentation, alcoholic concentration of brandy, whiskey, rum, gin, distillation. All these are involving fermentation. So what you actually are doing in a lab when a small scale production of something for experimental basis is being done, you can easily use a petri dish and complete your reaction there, because in the labs we are producing only small amount of substances, small amount of product is needed just for testing purpose. But what happens in if the same microorganism is to be used, is to be grown at a larger scale, then of course big culture mediums will be needed. Big culture media is to be prepared and big containers are to be used. So we have see the picture here is an industry is of an industrial fermenter. Fermenter is a device which is specially designed for the large scale production of products. Okay, and they are also called as bioreactors because biological reactions take place here. Traditional the old fermenters were made up of wood or maybe slate, but the modern fermenters are made up of this kind, that is the stainless steel kind of. And they are beneficial because they do not corrode, they or they do not lose out some toxic metals into the growth medium and do not interrupt our reaction inside. The size of the this kind of industrial fermenter may differ. It may differ from 20 liters to 250 million liters. Just imagine, 20 liters to 250 million liters depending on the industry in which it is being used. Okay, it can be a closed vessel or an open vessel. Clear? Let's move on. Coming on to the diagram of the bioreactor. See here. This is the diagram which is drawn in your notes. You will have to draw this diagram in your notes copy. This again, I have another diagram. This diagram is there in your book. If you are comfortable with this diagram, you can draw this one, or otherwise you can draw this one which has all the things which are required. All the parts are very much there, and then we will go one by one. First, we will start with the body of the fermenter or the bioreactor. Bioreactor and fermenter both are the same thing. Don't get confused with the names. Body of this bioreactor is I told you it can be made up of any thing like iron or which does not corrode. Sorry, not iron, steel. It is made up of steel which is resistant to corrosion. Generally, we have stainless steel is used, stainless steels. Okay, now inside, see, inside you can see the baffles. Can you look at the baffles on the walls of the fermenter? There are small rectangular things which are coming out, these portions here. These portions are, what are these portions? These portions are baffles. So what happens in a baffle? Baffles are actually small metric strips which are radially attached on the walls of the vessel. They are responsible for aeration. Just like if you see, you can compare these baffles with the with your mixer jar. If you see your mixer jar, it may have on the inner side of the jar, there may be some lines present, some areas which are coming out, some areas which are protruding out from the surface. These are the baffles. They aerate the substance properly. They increase the turbulence of the medium because the medium has to be continuously stirred. Why the medium has to be continuously stirred, I'll tell you. Now the next is impellers. Impellers you can see here. These are the impellers, the fan like things which are present in the center. These impellers are also called as agitators. Agitators means which agitate something, which keep on mixing something. So just like the fans, they are also rotating. You can see there is a motor going up here, motor going up here, yeah, here. Okay, so this motor keeps on rotating, which ultimately rotates these impellers, and there is a turbulence inside. Clear? Then we have sparges. Sparges are here. See these small holes. Sparges are bottom of the fermenter. It has not been labeled here. You label them. These are sparges. The small holes which you can see here, these are sparges. These are actually responsible for the entry of the air from the bottom. So these are letting the air to come inside. Then again, there can be a temperature control system, because when continuous agitation is inside, so what ultimately happens, there is an increase in the temperature. So increase in temperature will automatically affect the growth of the microorganism, because for the growth of the microorganism inside the fermenter, it is required that they should get a particular temperature. So we need to control the temperature. So here is a temperature control device fitted, plus water inlet for cooling and water outlet here for going out. So this whole jacket, this whole bioreactor is made up of two layers, and in between it is being, there is a space for the water movement. So just like your mothers must be doing at home to cool down something, they put it on a double container and put the container into the water. A container has water into it, and if milk has to be cooled down, he takes a container with milk and keep it inside the water on another container. So what actually happened, this cools down the milk. Same thing happens here, same phenomenon is occurring here in the for cooling down the temperature of inside the bioreactor. Water goes inside from here and comes out from here. Okay, so that affects the temperature control. Then due to continuous agitation, what happens, the foam will come out. You must be making any cold coffee or something, shakes in your blender. So what actually happens, due to tremendous agitation or blending, foam is formed. So that foam can come up and disturb our um, whole system of this culture. So what actually happens, this anti-foaming system just breaks down the foam and let the foam subside, and there is no problem then inside the fermenter, and there is no production of the foam is produced of course, but that it is being subsided. For these anti-foaming system, we are generally using soya extract or yeast extract in the medium, so that they can absorb, they actually kill all the foam which is produced. Then you can see here a pH control system also. So pH control system is to check the pH, whether the microorganism growth inside is causing any change in the pH. If there is a change in the pH, this pH control probe gives out acid or base to neutralize the pH, or to just maintain a particular pH, whether acidic or basic, which is required for the growth of the particular microorganism. So there is a pH control system also. Then additional ports can be also there, like nutrient port, from where we keep on adding the nutrients. And then our harvest line is there, from where we can take out the contents, take out the products uh, once the fermentation is complete. Okay, so you need to draw this diagram and just study it carefully. It's very easy. It is not any confusing thing or difficult task to understand this.